The failure of the Australian swimming team at the London Olympics in 2012 was in hand for the world to see. A subsequent review found that the team had an embedded toxic culture where the sole focus was on winning gold medals and that the behaviour and feelings of swimmers came a distant second. In the review, swimmers reported feeling very alone during the lead up to and the games, and this was exacerbated by the media who, when gold medals did not eventuate, began to portray individuals as cold and distant. Swimmers reported feeling that if you swam your heart out and won your heat, you then acted your heart out in the post-race media conference. But if you'd lost, you went to your room and you got out of the way. Although there were many coaches and support staff in the team, when breaches of rules such as getting drunk, bullying others, use of prescription drugs and breaking curfews occurred, no coordinated action was taken. It seemed that no particular person was in charge, nor were there any leadership roles for swimmers in the team. The Olympic team did have in place procedures and strategies for task-orientated functions, such as scheduling, public relations, pool and performance management. But they didn't have a team psychologist, nor any system for swimmers to discuss their emotions in a safe and comfortable environment. The issue the team faced did not happen over a short period of time. Culture is a pattern of shared assumptions that is learned by a group as it solves its problems. Once the pattern is considered valid, then it is taught to new members and enshrined as normal behaviour. Managers in the team were committed to delivering specific operating practices, but they were not adept at teaching and enforcing organisational principles and values. Swimmers were not receptive to changing their behaviour, and when difficult conversations were avoided, continued to display behaviour they felt was culturally acceptable. So how can Swimming Australia or any organisation work towards improving culture to ensure they can implement strategy effectively? Firstly, effective communication is critical. Expectations of all Australian swimmers, whether in the Olympic team or not, must be articulated by senior management and understood by all. Whatever ethical framework is chosen, it must be clear on minimum behaviours and disciplinary actions for breaching those standards. But setting the rules doesn't work well if you don't also show there is support for individuals. To manage intergroup conflicts, both employees and management must be trained in how to support people who are struggling to meet performance or cultural expectations. Being able to have difficult conversations is not learned overnight, and sufficient time and resources are required to embed this into a team's culture. Induction of new team members should be handled by existing experienced swimmers so that a coach-to-coach philosophy is in place. It is difficult to get consensus for change if individuals feel it is being forced upon them from above. As swimmers become more experienced, they should undergo leadership training so that they feel empowered to hold others accountable to the values of the team. To counter the heavy expectations on swimmers by both Swimming Australia and the public, consensus is required on what success means to both the team and individuals. It is not possible to change the way media want to portray a person or group, but it is possible to protect team members from pressure by ensuring goals reflect personal achievements and milestones. You would hope that the most important thing a swimmer remembers from an Olympic Games is the Games experience itself. Finally, it is critical that change is maintained. Again, management and swimmers are key to setting and passing on expectations to new members, but also showing that a team is a group where everyone should feel comfortable to express any emotion without judgment by others. To recap, organisational culture cannot be changed overnight, and management must be realistic about timeframes and expectations. For the Australian swimming team, there were serious issues leading up to and including the London Games, but the lessons learned will enable others to improve implementation of later strategies. Key actions management and organisations can take to achieve this include ensuring effective communication, managing intergroup conflicts, getting consensus for change, identifying criteria for measuring results, and ensuring change is maintained and strengthened over time. The Australian swimming team are still dealing with the issues that took years to accumulate. However, if any organisation explores their past mistakes with honesty and an open mind, they are able to take the steps to improving longer-term outcomes.